So NASA finally came up with a presidential candidate. Very good for them. Let's not waste any time. In this recording, we're going to analyze two things. One, why NASA chose Raila. And then two, we're going to analyze the impact it has on the presidential elections, August 8th. Politics is never about what happened last time or what did not happen last time. Yeah? It is about getting a presidential candidate who is best suited for now, or best suited for between now and August 8th, when Kenyans will go to the polls to make a decision on that candidate. And that is all that should have informed the NASA decision. And if that was the case, then obviously, right from the beginning, it was Raila Odinga who was going to be the candidate. Because one of the first things you look at is the following, the mass national appeal each candidate has. And out of the initial four, I know now there are 5, out of the initial 4, there was Raila Odinga, nobody came close to him. Because nationally, he has got a radical following, very strong following of over 4 million votes in the bag. You can put them in the bank, granted, 4 million votes, guaranteed. None of his competitors, or rather let me put it another way, all his other competitors would have a problem raising 1 million votes. Yeah, they would have a problem raising 1 million votes nationally. Okay, so already he had that going for him. As you know, I always look at things from different sides, without any emotion, without any favorism. It is true that Raila Odinga also had a lot of things going against him. Okay, firstly, I think the biggest thing he had going against him is that Jubilee know him too well. They know his tactics too well. And also, Jubilee have a strategy of dealing with Raila. Yeah, they had it in 2013, so all they have to do is remove it from the dusty shelves, dust it a bit, and remodel it, rework it a bit here and there, and they're good to go. So you can expect a lot of that, a lot of the rhetoric like he cannot be trusted, to come from Jubilee. And a lot of this rhetoric works. It works with voters, certain voters. So that is the big, huge disadvantage he had going against him. If I was the strategist for NASA, what I would have done, I would have chosen Isaac Ruto to be the candidate. Now, a choice like that would have completely changed the ground rules. Because for starters, what would have happened is that the 4-point-something million votes in the whole of Rift Valley would already be in the bag. Most of them, the ones of course situated in the Kalenjin nation, would definitely be on the NASA side. That would have been a real coup. And then what I'd have done is that I would have made sure that Raila is in full support of it. And Raila would not have been a bad running mate, only that his stature and his seniority would have not allowed that. So maybe a good running mate would have been Musalia, or even Kalonzo. The running mate in this thing is not very important, especially from the NASA side. The important thing is the actual presidential candidate. And with full Raila backing for an Isaac Ruto election, NASA would have had this election in the bag already. Yeah. Anyway, those are my views. And of course, there are certain realities on the ground, because politics is always a game of realities that would not have allowed such a lineup. So we have Raila and we have Kalonzo. And now we need to analyze what is bound to happen, or what are their chances in winning the elections. Now, the crazy thing about politics is that when you lose, you have lost. And it's very rare somebody will remember and say you lost by 2 votes or you lost by 3. Mostly they'll say, oh, there goes the guy who lost the elections. Yeah, that's the reality. But I want to draw your attention to the difference of votes. Yeah, the vote difference that forced, that buried a runoff. Yeah, that made a runoff unnecessary. Do you know how many votes there were? 16,000 votes. Those are very, very, very few. What that means in reality is that all NASA has to do, assuming that this is a rematch, yeah, the players are exactly the same. We have on one side Deputy President Ruto, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and on this other side Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka. That was exactly like the lineup in 2013. So assuming all things have remained the same, and of course they have not, but we just for analysis for the sake of the point I want to bring forward. Assuming that all things had remained the same, then what would have happened is that NASA would just need to gain 16,000 votes and we would go into round 2. And by extension, they would need to find an extra 32,000 votes and they would be the winners. Simple as that. So bottom line, the difference wasn't much. And when you look at that fact that the difference wasn't much, and then you look at the situation in the country at the moment, then Jubilee has a lot to worry about. Because the first thing we need to remember is that Jubilee did not have such a backlash. They did not have such a open hostility against them in areas like Coast Province, where they also got a number of votes. And they did not also have that anti-Jubilee, those anti-Jubilee sentiments in many other places countrywide, like Meru, for example. Yeah, that animosity was not there. Even in places like Turkana, it was not there. Yeah, and even I dare say certain constituencies in Nairobi. So things have changed. There's a lot of negative things which have happened, which will take away votes from Jubilee. And assuming it's a rematch, and assuming that we're going to have a repeat, because in a rematch you look at the first match, and assuming that this is a rematch, we have to look at the things which have changed. And it seems, according to my calculations, that you can do these calculations yourself, according to my sums, the things which Jubilee has lost, the votes which Jubilee is bound to have lost, are more than the ones which CORD will have lost. There's also another very big disadvantage. By virtue of being the incumbent, yeah, you see, when you elect somebody, you hope for the best. Expectations are very high. So it's human nature. Very few incumbents manage to come out having satisfied the electorate. Even let me even put it this way: most incumbents, the best they can do is for the electorate to say you have tried. I've never heard of anywhere in the world where voters have come out and said the incumbent has got 100% record. They have even done beyond our expectations. That never happens, because this is politics and this is human nature. To satisfy a human being, my friends, is one of the most difficult things in the world. So by view of that incumbency, there are quite a number of things which Jubilee are bound to lose. So in my book, according to me, Jubilee has got a lot of work to do. Yes, the candidate who has been chosen for NASA is the candidate they wanted to face. Why? Because they've got all the strategy, they've got all the ways to deal with that particular candidate. This is Raila Odinga. And all they need to do is go to the dusty shelf, remove those plans, dust them a bit, rework them here and there, make some slight adjustments, and they're ready to go. Yeah? But having said that, Jubilee have got a lot of work cut out for them. They have a lot of work to do in order to be able to defeat NASA. Okay, that is the position. Then don't also forget, one of the key things that has changed is that CORD at that time, because now it's NASA, CORD at that time did not have Isaac Ruto. Now, if you've been following my recordings and my analysis, Isaac Ruto is a very significant factor in the Rift Valley. He cannot be wished away. He cannot be underestimated. He cannot be brushed aside. He's a very key factor in the Rift Valley. So having Isaac Ruto alone puts NASA at a huge advantage. Actually, according to me, and according to the analysis I have right now in front of me, this is an election for NASA to lose. Jubilee had better therefore come up with some strategies, excellent strategies, and they'd better do that quick. And all this comes back to what I've been saying all along, that this race is going to be very, very close. It's going to be a very tight race. Yes, I've given advantages which NASA have. Yes, I've said NASA, this is an election for them to lose. But you can be very sure Jubilee is not going to stand around and just wait for things to happen. Yeah? So that is why I predict that going forward, this is going to be a very closely contested race. I think that's about it for now. I advise you very much to go into Club 1999 and get some inside information. For example, how much do you know about Raila Odinga? Who is this Raila Odinga really? Yeah, I have some very interesting information about Raila Odinga, the candidate, including the time that somebody was aiming a gun at him and it was almost fired. Actually, it was security. It was security people within Kenya who were pursuing him as he tried to escape out of the country. And he was actually on a boat in Lake Victoria, and somebody was about to fire and kill him. Anyway, get the full details in my Club 1999. Let me not go into those details here. I also see I've run out of my time completely. Go into Club 1999 and you get the details fully. Now, of course, being in Club 1999 is very easy. Just use that email address you see on the screen right now, and you'll be a member of Club 1999. Yeah, this is an offer which I don't know how long it's going to last, so you'd better really take full advantage of it. Become a member and get all that information, including a lot of other information. This is Chris Kumakuja. Thank you for your time. Bye.